What's happening, my metal friends? Welcome to another Friday night interview edition of the Electric Circus Radio Show, brought to you by MetalMessiahRadio.com. We are your metal music messiah. Tonight, with me on the line, we have an interview with Manuel Zewe, lead guitarist of German thrash metal band Godslave. On January the 23rd, 2021, Metalville released a new full-length studio album titled Positive Aggressive, which is the band's sixth full-length studio album in the band's history. Godslave was formed back in 2007. Track list on the new album by Godslave: Positive Aggressive. Track number 1, they have How About No. Track number 2, Positive Aggressive, which is the title track and the album name. Track number 3, they have Straight Fire Zone, which is a new single off the new album by Godslave, Positive Aggressive. Track number 4, they have a track called From Driven. Track number 5 on the new album is called Flap of the Wing. Track number 6 is Keen Vortex. Then they have number 7, they have Show Me Your Scars. Track number 8 on the new album by Godslave is I Am What Is. Track number 9, they have See Me in a Crown. And the final track on the new offering by Godslave, Positive Aggressive, we have Final Chapters. Godslave went by the name as Slavery from 2000 to 2007. So in 2007, they came up with their name, Godslave.
Why so serious, son? It's DJ Joker in the house.
All right, welcome, Manuel, to the Electric Circus Radio Show here at Metal Messiah Radio. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent, and it's an honor and a privilege to have you on the show with us here tonight, Joker's Electric Circus at Metal Messiah Radio.
Yeah, for me too.
The band started back in 2007 and went by the name as Slavery. What made the band changed the name to Godslave, and please tell us about the band members. I read that you got in the band in 2016. How did you get in the band? What's the story behind that, you getting into the band Godslave?
Okay, the story with me is I was approached by the guys. I knew them. The scene in Germany, not in Germany, but in our area, is pretty local, and you know everybody by name. And so the guys knew of my playing because I have worked with their former band, Icon, which was a death metal band. And they knew my skills and my stuff. And so they said, yeah, listen, we were having this band, Slavery, and we want to put it on the next level and do it properly. And we're going to rename and restart as Godslave. And we want you as a backup musician, so we don't have to, have to cancel any shows where any band members are missing. And I said, yeah, why not? And so that's when I was introduced to the other guys in the band, I would say. That was around 2007. They founded Slavery, I think, back in 2003 or something, like way back. And they had a lot of lineup changes, and they said, okay, let's do it properly. And then they started as Godslave. And then I was on every major, every album, there was an instrumental track, and I was allowed to play solo on the instrumental tracks because I was part of the family, and I've played, I don't know, like 7 or 8 shows with them on like bigger festivals. Bigger from our perspective as a band, pretty big festivals, and I was doing backup. And then when the time came to part ways with the old lead guitar player because there was personal differences and stuff, and so they had to split, and they did the logical thing and asked me because I was already had a firm grip on the set lists and stuff, and it was no big deal for me to play this stuff. And so they said, okay, would you like to join the band? I said, yeah, well, fuck yeah, I would. Mm-hmm. And that's how I got in the band. That was back in 2016, and now we're 2 albums in, and I'm still pretty stoked.
Okay, you got a new offering out called Positive Aggressive, which will be released today, July the 23rd, 2021 on Metalville. Tell us about the new offering, Positive Aggressive.
Yeah, about Positive Aggressive. It's not really a concept album, but an album with a lyrical concept. The idea is to go away from the classical themes in thrash metal, like, destroy everything, or corporation sucks, or government sucks, destroy everything. And we were asking ourselves, okay, how do you always have to destroy? Because, thrash metal is a very energetic music with a lot of power and a lot of aggression. And without aggression, there is no thrash metal. You just can't pull it off any other way. But we went a bit further and said, okay, what would happen if you would use this energy not just to destroy, but to actually build on something else, destroy something and rebuild it better. And that's the idea since, I don't know, like 2017 or something, or 2016, from the albums going onwards. We are a band with a positive attitude, and we are trying to head in this direction to stray a bit from the pack, And yeah, the idea behind Positive Aggressive was to encourage people to take fate into their own hands, because no one else but you has the power to change something in your life for the better. If you're not satisfied with the situation, go ahead, change it for yourself. Nobody else would do it for you. And that's part of the lyrical concept of the album. Our rhythm guitar player and lyricist Bernie wrote most of the lyrics, and he dealt with personal demons and stuff, and he had a lot of experience dealing with mental issues and stuff. That sounds a bit weird when I put it that way, but he was always keen on optimizing himself and putting himself in control over his stuff, and he poured all of that into the lyrics, and that's like a fine red line that goes through the complete album. Musically, I would say it's still thrash metal, but infused with a lot of European power metal, I would say. I hear a bit of Blind Guardian in there, some nods to old grades like Halloween and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear a lot of power metal. I hear a lot of power metal in the music and everything too. Good observation on that and everything. I really like it. It's kind of, to me, it's power thrashy. I love it already.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Okay, you guys are with Metalville. How did you get signed up with Metalville, and what made you want to choose them, or how did they choose you to bring you aboard on their roster?
Yeah, we were approached by the guys. I think we were approached at the same time as our sister band of Eradicator. And yeah, we were a self-made band from the beginning on, so we handled all the booking ourselves, we handled all the promotional stuff, the production of the albums, all this stuff. We were a self-governing band, if you want to say so. And we went ahead and made our own label a few years ago. Bernie and Mika in our band had this, and they had some other friends, bands on there, and were practically doing the label work for them. And so we thought, yeah, okay, if we have the control of our stuff, we can do whatever the fuck we want. And that was a great feeling. But there's certain things where you do need a label, or where reaching the next step in your career or on your way needs the help of someone else, so you can focus on your own stuff, because it is very, very time consuming to manage all the stuff yourself. And so with a partner, we are building on a good working relationship. and that's what we thought was the right thing to do moving forward.
You guys have Positive Aggressive. Which studio did you guys record it in? What's the name of the studio you love using to do your recordings in?
Yeah, we went to a friend and sixth band member, Mr. Phil Hillen, in the SU2 studios in Nalbach, Germany. We were recording there since, I don't know, since the beginning. I think every album and every EP has been recorded in Phil's studio. He's just all around awesome guy to work with, and I love being there. It's always like, I don't know, vacation or something, but a productive vacation, but it's always nice to be around Phil. And so we went there, as we did always. We had a mixed up schedule this time. Normally we track drums first, then we track bass and guitars, or guitars and bass, and vocals on top. But this time around, the making of the album was a bit I don't know, overshadowed by the COVID situation and everything. We couldn't rehearse properly. I had some issues with my wrist, which had me in pain for months, so I couldn't play guitar properly, and we lost a lot of rehearsal time, and so we were having to reschedule the studio time and put the thing to a later point in the year where it would be feasible to record. And we took I don't know, we were in the studio on and off from beginning of October until I think Tommy did his last vocal takes somewhere in January or something. But all in all, it was about, I don't know, 14 days of straight work, I would say. Maybe a bit more, because could only work there on and off. Tommy would have his regular work day and arrive at the studio later, and so I think I took about 3 days for guitar recording, and we had to do some of the recordings in my home studio and just take the DI tracks to the studio and have them reamped through the setup. But it's the situation. You have to make the best of it, and I think the outcome speaks for itself. I'm pretty proud of it.
Who did the awesome cover art for the new album, Positive Aggressive, and some of your other releases? Is it the same guy, or did you come in with somebody new to work on your cover art?
No, it's the same guy that did the Reborn Again cover artwork. It's an artist called Seeming Watcher, but I can't remember where he's from. If he's from the Ukraine or something like that. But yeah, he did the artwork for Reborn Again and for Positive Aggressive, and he's doing really good work.
What does the story depict on the cover art there? Is there a story within the artwork? Tell us about the artwork and what's the meaning of it, doing it that way.
Yeah. The artwork is kind of a moving. Not a moving. It's a recurring figure on our artwork, or mascot, Horst, as he's called, and he's been on every artwork on every album from the beginning of Godslave. You had him on the first On Bad Chains record. Then we had him on the EP Out of the Ashes, on the Into the Black album, and it's always he's depicting the state the band is in right at the moment. And so he develops as we develop going forward. And so you have kind of the biography of the band, if you want to look at it this way, from the beginning to now. Every hurdle we've had, every problem we've had, every shit we went through, Horst has to do it also. So he resembles our way as a band, you could say. And right now he's full of energy. He's healed up. You can see his healing process from the early artworks up to the recent artworks. Mm-hmm. And now his mouth is starting to open up. So he had finally found his voice, and he's he's got his demons. You know, everybody has his personal demons, but he's got his behind him, and he's ready to charge on right at the listener. And that's where we are now.
Very, very interesting and beautiful artwork. I like the green and the color and everything too. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys have Straight Fire Zone, the official video, and it's the first single off the album. Tell us about it and the location of the video and the making of that video. Who produced it and directed it?
Yeah, we are currently working on a documentary on our band and the pandemic situation and the situation the band was in before that. And we have a talented young man called Jonas, who is the director, if you want, of the documentary coming up, and he is doing the videos also. This concert was filmed in last September in our hometown of Saarbrücken. You couldn't really do regular shows because of the restrictions and the hygiene concepts you had to put forward to be able to do concerts at all. And so this venue thought of something they called Rock and Eat. So you would come in groups of 10 people. You could book a table for 10 people, and you were seated there. You were brought a 3-piece menu, I think. Yeah, and in between each and every meal, there was an act playing. So we played with friends of ours, a band called Surrender the Crown. After that, there was a comedian, and after that, we were making the headliner. And that's where we filmed this stuff and the backstage footage. And yeah, Jonas is compiling all this stuff and putting it into video form, you could say so. And yeah, the song is about the actual situation right now, where you can't, at least in Germany, where you can't come together with other people on a concert because there's still the restrictions. And it's basically about having your straight fire zone with you, so you don't have to. You know, you have this feeling of togetherness, but not tied to a specific place, but more as a kind of feeling in you to get together with other people, be it via phone call as we're doing it right now, or voice chats or video chats or something, or just blasting our music as a fan and imagining, okay, there's someone else somewhere on this world listening to this too, and I'm connected to this person through the music. That's the idea behind the Straight Fire Zone. It's being in your place, in your space, where you're okay and connected with all the other people. Musically, the song is, I don't know, has a slight Primal Fear influenced sound, I would guess. It's more of a stomping groover rather than a fast thrash metal track, but I like it really much. It's pretty melodic, and I think it's one of the best songs. Hey folks, this is Manni Zewe, lead guitar player for Godslave, and you're listening to J0KeR's Electric Circle on Metal Messiah Radio, your metal music messiah.
Okay, metalheads, we're back with Manuel Zewe, lead guitarist of German thrash metal band Godslave, talking about their newest offering. Okay, Manuel, who have inspired you the most? Who's your biggest influence in thrash metal that made you want to do thrash metal?
But yeah, like big influences for doing thrash metal was, of course, Metallica. Metallica was one of the first metal bands I've ever heard. And yeah, later on there was bands like Slayer and Megadeth I got into, but I'm really more of a heavy power and progressive metal guy, to be honest. Right now I'm pretty big into like the new wave of true heavy metal, actually, with bands like Visigoth and Eternal Champion and stuff like that, and German bands like Atlantean Codex, for example, because I think that's, I don't know, it's got an old school back to the roots kind of vibe, and I like that pretty much. Actually, with Godslave, I'm playing thrash metal because I like the sheer energy and intensity of the music. That's where I feel home, and everything other than thrash metal what I'm eventually doing in other band projects is I always tend towards this, the energy and the punch inherent to thrash metal, and that's something, that's the thing about Godslave that really got me into playing this kind of music, and being able, while playing in Godslave, to infuse this energy and this speed that I love with more melody and make it a bit more, I don't know, accessible, I guess. But I really like it. I'm honestly not really into the really old school stuff per se, but I can still enjoy it. But if I had to pick, I don't know, if I had to pick Metallica's Load album, to be honest, and the early outings of Sodom, I'd probably go with the Load album. And people are gonna stone me for that, but that's the way I think of it.
Please tell us about the music scene coming up for you in Germany and the guys, your band of Godslave. And you have taken thrash metal to a new level with this new album. How was the reception of the band locally in Germany and all over the world for your band, Godslave?
Yeah, we've got a solid following, I would say, in Germany. The scene in Germany is, it's not too welcoming, but not in a also negative sense, where they're just a bit reserved, and you always have to fight a bit to win people over. But wherever we play in Germany, there's always people, and there's always a good reception, and we seem to hit a nerve, I guess. In our local area, we're like local heroes or something, but I don't know, from other befriended musician friends of mine, they always look at us like kind of, Godslave, but everywhere else, we're pretty, I don't know, we can stand our ground compared to other bands, and that's cool. The scene, we've got a pretty active scene in Germany, which is cool, and it's fun. We're on a level right now where it's a convenient level of exposure, I'd say. It's not like I walk across the street and there's 10 people like, sign my shirt or something. No, it's nobody knows me, But still, when I go to festivals or something, and there might be the one or the other guy giving me the eye and think, I know you from, you're the guy from Godslave, and I was like, cool. But we're like not that big. That's when you told me you got to know our band from an Austrian friend of yours. It's cool for me to hear that we've got fans in Austria that like our music. I think that's really cool, because we're only actively touring in Germany, maybe Luxembourg and Belgium and France. I think we had one gig in France or something. But other than that, we haven't really had the opportunity to go on tour for a longer time, because everybody in the band has a day job and has a working schedule, and we have teachers and public servants in the band. So, the opportunities to go on an expanded tour for like 3 or 4 weeks are pretty limited. So we are bound to weekend gigs or like weekend trips where we head over to England. God, I forgot England. Yeah, we're in a, I don't know, every other year we get around to go to the what's the name? To the Breaking Bands Festival in somewhere in the vicinity of Birmingham in England, and we always take a 3-day trip where we hit our bus and then we drive up across Europe, hop into the tunnel and come out on the other side in Britain and play 2 shows in Britain every 2 years. And the reception there is awesome too. I've found a lot of cool guys who became friends with me later on. it's just awesome. And I would really like to go out on tour more, but you can only, it has to work for everybody. So I'm okay with that.
Cool. You just mentioned you toured before. Please tell us about some bands you guys have toured with before, and some of the cool memories you have of sharing the stage with the bands.
Yeah, we were we had a few cool moments with the festivals we were playing. Once we played the what was it called? Shit, forgot the name. Chronicle Moshers Festival. Awesome organization there. Super professional, and we shared stage with Vader,
Nice.
Vader and Marduk that day. That was awesome. Seeing those guys hang up, drinking vodka with them backstage, and it's like, when I thought, yeah, man, that's the shit I'm doing this for. This is awesome. And then, we toured. We've played a lot of shows with Eradicator, and we always book the shows so we can hit them every weekend, maybe some days in between, or have a double gig at the weekends. And that was our touring experience. But it's always fun to be around the Eradicator guys, because they're just awesome people.
What do you do
We shared
outside
the
of
stage
being in
with
the band? What do you do outside of being in the band for a living, like supporting yourself and family? What do you do outside the band?
I guess you could call it a production worker. If you think of it that way. It's I'm working in a company that is developing and producing thermal sensors for big industrial plants. That's what I'm actually doing when I'm not making music. Straight 9 to 5 job.
Nice. At least you're getting to work and everything and support yourself and family. What can you tell us about your guitar? You're a lead guitarist. What brand of guitar do you like to use? Tell us about it.
Oh, I'm in possession of a Jackson. What is it? A King V2 from 1999 or 2000, which was given to me by a friend who had it lying around in his basement and didn't play it. And so he thought, yeah, well, the thing is really better off being in your hands, because you actually get around and use it. And that's my main guitar. It's got Seymour Duncan humbuckers in it, Floyd Rose original tremolo. Yeah, I like the guitar very, very much. But other than that, I'm going with an Ibanez 7-string as a backup guitar, because I only have this as a backup guitar. Amp-wise, I'm using a small amp called the Amp 1 Iridium Edition from a local amp manufacturer called Thomas Blug. He has a company called Blue Guitars, and the thing is the shit right now. It's kind of like an analog camper, if you want. So basically, the thing has so much tonal possibilities. You can recreate a lot of amps if you know what you're looking for, only with the equalizer settings on the thing. It's awesome.
Nice setup. Where do you see your band Godslave in the near future, and the goals of the band to where you want to be as a band moving forward?
Yeah. I've always wanted to play Wacken at some point. Festivals like Wacken or Bang Your Head Festival or Summer Breeze. That's a thing on my bucket list I would like to cross off. Other than that, doing the best we can to grow and to maximize our input and shit. maximize our reach to people, and do more albums, get better with every album, and do this as long as we possibly can, and as long as we're having fun with it, because that's, to be honest, that's the main thing we do this for. We want to have fun playing for people, playing the music we love. That's where I see the band getting bigger, playing bigger festivals, maybe doing a tour if the occasion presents itself.
Yes, hopefully soon you guys will be able to be on the road again and tour again after this COVID-19 pandemic lockdown crap ends. Any upcoming shows, any small gigs or anything? And are you guys doing any rehearsals and practice for upcoming shows?
No, actually, we haven't scheduled any upcoming shows, at least not to my knowledge, in the next few months, because here in Germany it's pretty locked down still. You can actually have, I don't know, like open air concerts with up to 150 people or something, which, and announcing this now, it's way too late for anyone organizing a festival or something on short notice. You just can't do it. So we are looking forward to the next year, because the shows from 2020, which were scheduled for us, have been moved to 2021, and now they have been moved from 2021 to 2022. And so we're guessing we're back in the game earliest, maybe end of this year. We have started practicing, actually, after I don't know, a half year of hiatus or something. The last time I've seen the band members was right before we hit the studio in early October last year. Since then, I haven't seen any one of them. And so we've met this Tuesday, actually, and had the first rehearsal in like half a year or something. And it was pretty good. pretty much more than I've expected. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this more regularly, so you get, the workout you've been missing all this time, and the thing it does to your soul, being able to play music with the people you like. It's just not the same, practicing at home. Shit sucks. I'm born for the stage, and I want to go back there as soon as possible.
Yeah, hopefully you guys get to tour again and perform live and everything for the fans out there. I hope that you get to tour very, very soon. And I personally hope it's before 2022. Maybe not. How are you dealing with the lockdown? What are you doing in your spare time? Maybe is the band working on new material for a future album or EP?
We've been busy doing promo and doing all the management stuff in the last month. Looking forward to releasing the album, planning the videos, planning special things we've planned to do. And so that was what we were doing in my free time, which there's a lot of it. I haven't been really able to write anything as of yet. The recording process of the last album was pretty taxing on me, and so that I don't know, shut down my creativity for a long time. I was going through a breakup with my then girlfriend, then moving into a new house, then having the shit with my hand, which still doesn't work and has to have to go to a surgeon in the coming months to get this fixed. That's something pressing down on my mood, in addition to the lockdown conditions and the fact that you can't really go anywhere, and if you want to go anywhere, you have to take a test, which is no problem for me. But I don't know, shit gets to you. It's the only way I can put it. It's not easy for anybody.
Absolutely. And please tell us where we can buy your music, give a plug on your websites, and tell us about the merchandising you have out there for the fans. Will the new album have vinyl, and will there be t-shirts and cool stickers and all that fun fan packaging stuff? What do you have for the people?
Yeah. We do actually have vinyls this time around. There weren't any vinyls for the last album, and I'm pretty stoked that this time we got around to doing vinyls again. Then there will be a special edition, limited special edition, limited to 200 pieces. There's a, you've got the CD in there, then you have a drinking board game, which we designed in the special edition box. I think there's a patch in there, but don't make me lie, I actually can't remember. We have the CD and shirt packages in our shop at www.godslave.com or godslave.de, I guess. Yeah, and you can head there, take a look at the shop. We've got patches from the previous albums. We've got all the CDs from the previous albums. We re-released 2 sold-out albums as a double CD, and there will be shirts. I think there won't be any hoodies, which is a shame. I love hoodies.
Me too.
But there's a lot of fun stuff in the shop. Take a look.
Please give shout outs to all the fans and maybe a new fan to be. What would you like to say to everybody out there who is listening to the interview tonight on Joker's Electric Circus presented by Metal Messiah Radio? What would you like to say to the people out there that you haven't been able to talk about yet?
Yeah. People, check out Godslave. You won't regret it. And for anyone who needs to hear this, you are awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Don't give a shit about what other people say to bring you down. You have your green zone, your straight fire zone. This is where you belong. This is where you rule. So take a chance. Go and change something for yourself if you're feeling unhappy, because no one else will do it for you. And you can do this.
Absolutely. Manuel, it's been a pleasure and honor having you on tonight's show here. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for doing this interview with us. The best of luck to you and your bandmates of Godslave, and you're more than welcome to come back on the show when you want to promote something new in the future. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
The honor is mine. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and rock on.
And I would like to thank our friend Wolfgang Mischner, a good friend from Austria, and he's a listener at Metal Messiah Radio and a good friend. Thank him. I'd like to thank him for telling us about the band Godslave. Very much appreciated from Wolfgang Mischner from Austria.
Ja, Wolfgang, vielen, vielen, vielen Dank.